Hey, welcome to another Teeks tip time where your learning it starts here. Welcome to our Q&A. Ask any questions you like, and feel free to join our community where you can ask all the Q&A and everything you like. Hey, Nikki. So we've got a few questions that we need to go through today. And we'll start with question 1, which is from Bella. And it says, hey Renee, how would you select every other node? So this is the main subject of today, as in the thumbnail, and it's called Lasso Select. Now I will be showing this on iPad and on PC because it's different. So here we go with the iPad version. So I've got this box that I made up earlier. And if we go to Node Tool, you'll see multiple nodes that I've included here. And what we want to do is, instead of doing this and selecting them all, hey Bella, and we want to select every other one. And the way we do that on iPad is you have the node tool selected. Make sure the item selected helps. And then, what I find is if you start selecting like this, then hold 3 fingers down and then start selecting again, you actually get the lasso. We just go around these nodes, selecting the ones you want, not the ones you don't, and then let go of the 3 fingers, and job's good. You should have every other node selected, as you can see here. So it's very handy. Hey, Segmentera. Hi. You're from Trent Stream. Thank you very much for joining. But yeah, that's the iPad version. So you put 3 fingers. Now, just go back to our Q&A. I'm just going to get the PC version started up, and we'll show you that way. I go on to the PC, and it does help if I could get on the PC, just here. You start seeing my mouse go around now. So, because I'm doing this on mouse, no, that's not it. It's very hard to click on the bit you want, especially with my hands. So, let me try that again. So, there we go. And we got the question 1. And we should have that same rectangle. So we'll turn that on if we can. So it's very hard to take on things. We'll go to Node Tool, which is this one on PC. If it allows us, go to Node Tool. And as you can see, those same nodes. So on PC, as you can see, if I just select it, that will select all these. And that's not what we want. So instead of that, what we do on PC is hold. Sorry, it's so awkward to do on here. But you hold down Alt whilst you drag around. See, I might not be able to select the ones I want like that. I can. It's very hard to do every single one. Where you get the. I'll try and get around. That might not be every other one, but I tried. No, it's not every single one, but you get the point. So if I move the nodes now, you'll see it only moves the ones we selected and not the ones we didn't. So that is the PC version of Lasso Select, which is very cool, very handy, especially when you've got a line of nodes and you don't want to select all of them. Just put it on there again. There we go. Yeah, so what would normally happen is you select the nodes like this, and then as you move them, it moves the whole thing, which is not what you want. So I'm just going to go back to the iPad again now, if I can. Let's go back here. But yeah, feel free to ask any questions, etc. I don't know why it went green, that's a bit odd. Definitely weird. Do you get that? Because I do. Very weird. It might be the iPad. So let's get on with question 2, which is from Bella. And it's single point perspective, 3D letters. So what she means by that is this, I've done a little demo for us. Just turn off that one and put on that one, and if I can. Nope. There. So you might see this on Netflix, etc. So, you know, like where they go back to a single point and it's like they're jumping out of the screen. So that is what single point 3 letters would do. So you've seen this before, I'm sure. But now the question is, how do we do this? So let's get rid of that and put this one on and bring this down. So the first thing we want to do is make sure it's in the middle. As you can see with the snapping point, it goes green. So just there. Then what you want to do is get onto those letters and make them curves. So you want to come up here and convert to curves. So now they're all separate items. So that'll show you the nodes on each one, just like that. The other thing that you want to do is you want to create a line straight in the middle of that green. So you'll just try line that up, which I probably didn't. Oh no, it's not bad actually. Not a bad guess. So now that we've got that line, we don't actually need to show it. Let's just say we got our single point to go to. So now if we go to these letters, I'll select them all. I do this in 2 colours. You don't have to. And then just select our single line, just so we can see where we're going. Select the pen tool, and then just go from point to point. We don't want it that big, so I'll put the width down. Let's go to 0.1. I know you hardly see it. I might have to zoom right in so you can see it, but that is what we ideally want. Now, I'll just go through these and do the rest. So what you're doing in one colour is all the bottom of the letters. So all these nodes along the bottom. So this one to that center point. Then it would be this one. Oh, no, that's a good point. So when you go on pen tool, go up to the context menu at the top and put it into line so that you can do this. Does help. Just select them all again. Right now, we go this one. It gets rid of them every time, so we're gonna have to go back in with NATO in a sec. So just roughly point out where they are, if it would let me, to the corners of each one and to that center point. This might take a little while, but I think you'll agree the effect is worth it. No, that didn't work. So just going through, and like I say, unfortunately, the nodes don't stay on like I thought they would. So we'll have to go back in with the node tool in a sec and fix that. This is going to be roughly about there. We'll find the nodes in a sec. Just going through all the layers. Just like this. And there we go. Taking us a little while. The T and the H. And there we go. Oh, and that one to there. Now then, you can, yeah, pretty labor intensive. Absolutely, Rennie. Yeah, it's a very hard one to do this, but it is a nice effect. But it is very intense doing this one. So you could do this in a different color, but now we want to do all the middle of the layers. So let's start with here. I'm just gonna do it in the same color. And where else do we want to go? About there. And I think that's about it actually for middle. Now I'll just change the color so you can see what I mean. So let's go blue. Now we want to do the top of the letters, so start here. So if I get quiet, just concentrate. So there, there, there. I'm just trying to get this right. So I think we did this one, didn't we? But I'll do it just in case. And then there. And there. You have to remember where you've done and stuff. It's very awkward. Let's go with that one. And go with the H there. And there. Now then, now we gotta select all those layers and try again. So on iPad, we have got that shortcut. Not that it works every time, but I'll give it a go. So use 2 fingers when you've got the top one selected. 2 fingers, then should select the rest, which it did on that go, so that was awesome. Now then, we just gotta select all the layers. And then we're gonna have to line up. You have to zoom right in and make sure the nodes connect. And the reason for that, which we'll probably get in a minute, is that when we do the fill, you'll find that the whole page will fill if you've done this wrong, which I do multiple times. Just making sure all these top nodes match. I was miles off. Look at that. Terrible. Oh, did that one go on? Yeah, it did. That's right. So now we'll do the bottom ones. Just like that. So if I'm quiet, again, trying to get this right, because if you don't get it right, You will see, because I will probably not get it right. And that one there. And there was another mid. And this one. Hopefully that's all of them. We'll have a go. So we need one more line. Oh, question. No nodes at the top of the... Oh, no, because of the angle that is. If you did a line from there to there, you wouldn't actually see any of the black that we're going to do in a sec. That's why there's no need to do that. We need one more line, and we need it to be probably about here. No, not that. So if you press X, it won't do that. And try drawing on the rest of the lines. So if we want to go from about here to here, perfect. Just to get that cut off point. So now that we've done the hard bit, let's do the fun bit. Let's go through all these lines. In fact, let's try that thing again. So we'll select the top and we'll select the bottom. Oh, look at how it worked. It never works for me. If you go to flood fill now, because we've got all those nodes selected, like that makes an entire shape. So if I click there, it's gone red. I should have changed colour. Let's go black. Let's redo that. There we go. So that makes now an entire shape. And then we just want to do that all the way along the letters. So everywhere that the lines would make sense to go. Actually, we probably want all of that. And I always fill in the letters because it just looks better. But yeah, this is the fun bit, really. Just click in. Oh, I missed a line off the top of that. We'll have to do that in a sec. Very satisfying. I love colouring in this way. But yeah, see where it stops on that line. We have to do the other line. Oh, you see how it covered everything? That's what I was on about. So let's get back. And we go to our nodes and we'll try and fix that. So where was it? This shape. Somewhere there's a node that isn't quite on the right. Trying to find it. Trying to find it. Got the team right in to find it. Everything seems good. Although, is that one? You take that back off and put it on. Yeah, that one's fine. Oh, it's because that one's missing. So I'll just put that one in now. So we should have had one from this M to the middle. Oh, I just noticed as well that they're all off. So we'll select everything if we can. Where's the letter start? There. So we'll try this for a third time. Oh, lucky again. See, it doesn't help that all these sort of. So we'll just put these all into the actual center. Takes so long. That's probably just more than myself with all these I eat like this. That didn't work. Yeah, nearly there. You see why I say I hate making them different colors, because it does get confusing with so many lines. So let's try that again. We'll go back to our blood pill and we'll make sure these are done. But this was the one that messed up, which now is cured. Just going through everything else. You could be really good and make them different colours and things on every angle, but I'm lazy. So here we go. And I think that's done it almost. You do that bit, and there's one tiny bit here. There's that, and I've done it. I think that's done. Just do that bit, actually. Yeah, I think that is now done. So all you do is get rid of your guidelines. So wherever they are, where did I put them? Was it? No, it wasn't in there. Oh, I didn't make them into. So we go all of these, make it a folder, so we don't do that again. And I turn off. No. Oh, yeah, I did turn off. I just was on there. So these layers should be one group, and all these new shapes that we just made. In fact, it'll probably be late. Yeah, try that trick again. Just like that. It'll be one group. And the reason we do that is if you go to Mutal and them to be a different colour, you could make them any colour you like just by doing that. We'll leave it black, it probably looks better. So yeah, there we go. Single play 3D letters. Oh, I realised I missed one up here as well. Should have done the top of that B to the middle. It's a bit late now. But yeah, everything else is alright now. I think that wasn't too bad. So now that we've done that, let's go on to question 3, which is from Villa again. And it's a workaround for FX only on the layer below, not the whole document. Right, let's put these on so you see what she means. So if you put FX on this red, this one, no, the other ones, yeah, on this one. So the FX on this one is this outer shadow here. And as you can see, we want it just to affect the blue circle, but it's affecting the grey. And that's what we want to try and stop. And this is the kind of thing that we're on about. So it stops just on that blue, but Affinity doesn't do that. A lot of other art programs will just do that. Oh, I'm just reading your comments. The effect is very nice. Thank you very much. We all missed that one. Yes, obviously I did. Lucky Villa asked this question. Doing with Ronnie Gerson would have been a lot. Yeah, a big name. He welcomes them all. Yeah, absolutely. I would if you want it, Renee, no problem. Oh, another one probably. Like I said, I'm not very good at keeping track of that. It's very difficult. There's so many lines. So let's get back to this. So yeah, so we want it to only affect that blue circle, just like in the second example. So if we go onto the red FX now, on this one, you'll see it only affects this one. Now, Affinity doesn't do this by standard, like by default. So we have to have a workaround to make that work. And the way we do that, I'll start again. Yeah, just get rid of these ones. Right, start again. So let's get the ellipse, make the ellipse. We'll have this one as our red one. No, we won't, because I put it inside the group. So getting that back out. Now it's the red one, right? Let's duplicate that. And we'll make that the blue one. But we want the red one on top, don't we? So if we go to FX and into outer shadow, we'll make it 100% pixel and we'll pull out, and there we go. So you can, as you can see, it affects everything, not just the blue circle. Now there is a workaround for this. If you go to the red and put it inside the blue, you'll see that that's not the effect either that we want. So we'll come back out. What we'll do is we'll duplicate it and now put it inside the blue circle. And you can see it's still doing that same thing that we don't want. However, we can switch off the effects on the outer one now, just like this, which leaves this inner one. Just on the effects, and there we go. Leaves the inner shadow just on the blue circle, nothing else. That's a little workaround in case you need that. So there we go. Let's go on to the next question. Question 4 from Villa, and it's how do you like bacon corner tool? Oh yeah, when you adjust it, I'll show you what I mean. So I'll turn this one on, and I'll go to this one, onto move tool. So these are actually the same. As you can see here, I'll like match them up. They're exactly the same. However, when you resize them, it goes very weird in the corners, as you can see there, and we don't want that when we resize it. So there's a way to stop this on this other one that we've used the corner tool on, as you can see here. when we've used the corner tool, there is a convert to curves button upon the context menu that is kind of like a bake. So we press that, you'll see the nodes actually keep the corners where they are. So when we shrink it down now, it doesn't do that. It just stays as is, just like that. Hope that made sense. So that is bacon on the console. Then question 5. What are constraints and how are they used? So this one's actually really cool. I don't think I've shown it on here before. So as you can see, my logo, we could put it inside this rectangle. But if we move the rectangle now, will affect the image inside here, like stretch it out, etc. Just like this. If we shrink it down, it shrinks. Yeah. What if we wanted it to stay where it was? We could do that in a couple of ways. As ways of funny, you could take it out of the rectangle, if it would come out of the rectangle, and now affecting the rectangle won't affect the image. So that's cool. Just like that. That's one way. But if we wanted to keep the image inside the rectangle and have the same effect, there's something called constraints. Now, if we go into the transform panel, just here, there's something called constraints. Same on PC. And then you'll see this little diagram with arrows on it. What the hell is this? So, this is when your outer shape, as shown here, moves, what will happen to the inner shape. So, at the moment, everything's lit up, which means that when we move, it moves. But if we untick these, now go back to a rectangle. When we move our rectangle, it doesn't actually shrink it. See what I mean? However, when we pull it out, it also pulls it out slightly. What if we wanted that shape to stay on the edge? So put it back, go back into constraints, and you see the outer box, it's also got some lines around it. So we'll go back to our logo and back into constraints. So we've got the up and down and left and right arrows off, but we also want to stay to the left hand side of the outer shape. We could just light up the left hand side of the outer shape. Now if we go back to rectangle, when we pull this out, it will always stay on the left hand side, just like that. This is very cool if you wanted to make a signature or something like that and wanted it to stay where it was, just like that. This might be handy for you, Renee. Just trying to think what else on constraints. I think we've done the up and down. If we also select the top, it would stay at the top, so we could make this as big as we want, and it would stay at that top corner. I think that's it for constraint. but very cool, very powerful tool. Just turn it back off. Turn these all back on. So now, when you move the rectangle, everything moves. See, hope that makes sense. So that is what a constraint is, and how to use it. So you constrain the inner to stay where it is when the outer's moved. That's what the constrain it to, whatever you want to the actual achieve. If that makes sense. Got my voice. So I think that was all the questions for today. So was there anything that anyone else wants to know? I'll just wait for the chat catch up because I know it's a bit delayed. But anything at all, doesn't have to be Affinity, could be anything. That's good. How you can move it. Yeah, absolutely. The amount of times that I could have used that in the past. You had plenty. Yeah, you had all five, I think. Yeah. You're going for some sort of record. The most questions asked in a stream. I don't know. But yeah, if anyone else wants, okay, so you could join the free community just by going to this QR code that I'll leave on screen. It's all free, and just feel free to put your questions in Q&A. We'll try and answer it. If not, it should be answered in live in the future. But yeah, if everyone's finished, then I'll call it for this week, and we'll get on to the next week. Just leave it a few seconds to catch up the chat. I challenge everyone. Absolutely. Indeed, Nikki. Is there any questions? Oh, I still don't entirely grasp the concept of expand border. Which app? Expand border. Is it something that I showed? I don't remember. Expand border. I'm trying to think. Do you mean in Designer? Expand border. You're gonna have to let me know, Renee. What do you mean? I will try to answer it. I have to rethink things a bit. I have Affinity on PC and unfortunately no iPad. It's still interesting, cool. Like I say, if there's something specifically on PC, I do show the PC one as well. Oh, expand streak. Okay. So it only works on Affinity's own streaks. So I'll just close this image and go into now the pen tool. This stroke here, for example, when we can see it. Yeah, this one here. This is an actual vector from Affinity. If you choose another brush type, you wouldn't get it to work, I'll show you now. So if we make another stroke just here, and we change the brushes, what should be one. God, I have so many brushes. So I think yeah, we'll use that one for example. So as you can see, there's jaggedy edges and things, and that is not a proper vector, even though it says it's a vector brush. It's not actually a vector brush. It's a PNG image on a vector path. I know it's a bit confusing, but that's what that kind of image is. So when you use expand streak, which I'll do on this one, go here, expand streak, you actually get the nodes of the streak where it was, like the outsides, if you like. So you can adjust it from there, but you can't turn it back into a streak. Whereas if we try doing it on this streak, expand streak, nothing. It just doesn't even attempt to do anything. That is like the only thing, because it's like this is not a vector, this is a PNG, and expand straight doesn't work on a PNG. So we're just gonna leave it as is. But yeah, let's get back. Make that streak. There we go. So at the moment we can move this around, bend it, etc. But when we expand that streak, we lose all that bendy ability, and we can just adjust the nodes as you see here. Very cool if you need to do something in particular, but not very cool. As in, you can't make it back into straight now and bend it again. So that is expand streak. I hope that helps, Renee. Makes it a solid, yeah, absolutely. So yeah, not now in our thing will be a curve instead of the what do they call it, a streak. Yeah, makes it into an object. So you come up here, instead of a streak which would be on this side, it's now fill. So you can change the color like that. Yeah, no longer a streak. Absolutely. I'm just reading your thing, Nikki. 2 secs. You want to advance the branch on the streak and manipulate the nodes. Expand streaks gives you access to nodes. Absolutely. So if you need it specifically to be, I don't know, this node needs to be over there a little bit, then you can do that. Whereas you couldn't do that as a streak because the whole thing will bend. So yeah, the only thing, like I say, you can't do it on is any brush that's not affinities because they're not true vector, even though they say they're vector brushes. Just reading your comment, Segmentera. Cool, thank you, Nikki. most things I also know, but one thing I'll have to look later. What was the thing where Teek had his the constraint that is. I'll show you that again because that is quite a good thing. So question 5, and we'll go into this. We'll take. Did I put it all back to normal? I think I did. So we go into transform panel, into there's the transform panel, to the bottom option called constraints, and then you adjust the arrays. So if it looks like it does now, a box inside a box with all the arrays lit up, mine is that one. If I could move that. Yeah, like that. Now that is how it would normally be. So when you move the rectangle, it moves everything. So your logo and everything does shrink down. But usually you don't want it to shrink, you just want to move the rectangle. So what they've done, instead of having to take your logo out, then adjust the rectangle like this, which does work to be fair, but they fixed it in the new version so that you got this constraint now. So you put your logo back in, make sure you're on the logo, go to transform, into constraints, and in constraints you just untick both those, and now whatever you do to the rectangle, if I click on it, won't actually affect your logo, but usually you want it to stay where it is. Like say if I stretch this out big time, it'll start coming towards us, and that's no good either. So what we want is to go back into constraints and tick still. I don't know what you'd call it. It's like a box on the side, like the outer box, and it lights up just like so. And what that does is it fixes it to the left hand side, or it should have. No, weird. Not done it. Oh, because I did it on the wrong thing. Make sure you're on the logo. Get into constraints. Tap that one. Now when you go to the rectangle, it'll stay where it is. Sorry about that. They're very cool. It's like you can use it for other things, like say, let's get back in constraint. Like I want it to stretch up and down, but I don't want it to stretch left and right. I don't know what example you would use for if you did. So when you move the rectangle, in and out doesn't actually do anything, but up and down will stretch it. So if you want to do that for some reason, you can. And like I say, you can go back the other way as well if you wanted. But for now, I just put it all back how it was. So that when you move the rectangle, it does move the whole thing, which is usually not what you want. So yeah, that one's cool, but I always forget to mention about constraint. I'm not sure why. So there we go. So anything else? Let's put it back onto our Q&A guy. Is there? Thank you. Nikki is searching. Oh, 2 seconds. Let me get back into the PC and see. I thought it was there, but maybe not. So let's go to Affinity PC. Well, there's not question 5 on here. I must have done this different. And if I go to Affinity, so we close that, and we'll just make a box. We'll make it red. We don't want it to have a streak. We want it to have a color. It's probably inside folder, which is, say, bring out again. So now we need someone to go inside it. Put inside. Just make another rectangle inside, and for now, this one, and we'll make it blue. So there we go. So let's find where this constraint thing is. I thought it was on the transforms. We want it to be inside that rectangle. Do you not do that on PC? Yeah, you do. And I hardly use it in the use PC. Here's transform down here. Where's constraint? I already thought it was on the bottom. Oh, I know where. Go to window. Into, I forgot what the thing was. Oh, constraint. There we go. Yeah, cool. It just wasn't like, no wonder why you couldn't find it. So now that it's like, we can do the same. So we just take the boxes and the arrows, off. And now when we move the rectangle, the box stays. If we want it to stay on that left hand side. Oh, if I could grab it. There we go. Just do that on. So yeah, that's where it is. Constraint is just go Windows, constraint, because it's not ticked on by default. So there it is, just there. That brings up this little box. Why isn't that on? I thought I put it on. Did I put it on the wrong thing? Yeah, I did. I wonder why it was giving me chip. And now it'll stay. There we go. So that is the PC version. I hope that wasn't too confusing for people. Sorry about that. Just flick back to our iPad, just like that. And there we go. So, anything anyone else wants? Anything else I can show anyone? I've never used it. Yeah, it's because I've never mentioned it because I always forget about it's even there. Typical. But now you know. Thank you, Nikki, for searching where it was hidden. Absolutely, that was really hidden. Thanks for a good listen. Hope it helped. That's great, thank you. No problem. Like I didn't know it was hidden. I just thought it was on the bottom of transform, just like it is on like iPad. But there's always a way. Just didn't know exactly where, but now we do. So, anything else? Or do you want me to call it there? Thank you, Renee. No problem. Hope it all helped. Thanks everyone for coming. And I will see you in the next one.